there's a level of dishonesty
Yeah.
when you avoid the conflict and you avoid the conversation. But I would also say by hiding or not really communicating those things, you're also communicating and devaluing your own voice. And
Right.
it will be hard to recover that over time if for the first 3 years of your marriage you deferred and never said anything. But in the 5th year of marriage,
Yeah.
you find your voice and all of a sudden you just telling your husband everything that you think anytime that you feel like telling him, or your wife the same thing. It's almost like they're married to a different person
Yeah.
because they never heard that voice before.
Yep.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Beautifully Blended Podcast. My name is Larry.
And I'm Julia.
And we have a strong passion to inspire marriages and blended families to find help, hope, and healing. We want you guys to be okay.
Yes, we do. And we've been married for 16 years. And so we have seen and experienced a lot of the things we talk about. We've also walked through some seasons with others. And so this is just a blessing for us to be able to be along on this journey and encourage some of you that are out there who want to blend beautifully.
Yeah, we give a lot of thought, a lot of intention to the content that we create because marriage matters. And we also know that it's hard.
Yep.
We know that it's hard to blend families. We know that it's hard to get along with someone that you've committed your life to. And it's not always easy. You may like certain things, but when the going gets rough, it really gets rough. So we pray that the content that we create is a blessing to you and your marriage and your blended family.
Yes, absolutely. So today, we're going to jump into something that we believe that a lot of couples don't realize until it's too late. And that is that we need to focus more on our marriage than the wedding day itself.
Yeah.
We have walked through some seasons. We've coached some couples who were getting married and they said, oh, we're not going to do a whole lot. But it kept piling up and adding up and adding up. And then later they're like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have spent this much money. I wish I wouldn't have done it. Right. And so really, we want to deal with that. Just that idea of not focusing so much on a day and focusing more on the marriage itself.
Yeah. So this episode is really for those who are single and who are engaged. Like we want to make sure that we get something out to you specifically. So when you talk about focusing too much on the wedding day and not the actual marriage, that is when people are focused way too much on the venue or the cake or all the food.
Yes.
Like, are we having shrimp or lobster? Or are we having crab cakes? Are we having wings or chicken? We focus on all of these things. We also focus on colors and the seating chart.
Oh my goodness. Because you got to sit the right people in the right places. And
the flowers and where are we buying flowers from? And my uncle, he got a flower shop in his backyard. And like, we ain't getting flowers from your uncle's backyard and all of that stuff. Like, we focus on a lot of the wrong things.
Right.
Preparing for the wedding rather than for the marriage.
Right. And while these things are not wrong, we put our attention there. And that is the part that can lead us the wrong way.
Right.
And so celebrating marriage is beautiful. Like we should celebrate that. We should be excited about that. But the problem is that many couples get lost in that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You get lost in this time of preparation. You're spending days and even months, sometimes even years, just lost in the preparation for a wedding, a 24-hour period. And really the ceremony itself is a short window. It's even shorter, rather than making the investment and preparing for your marriage.
That's crazy. Like, I've done my fair share of weddings.
You have.
I've done a lot of weddings.
You've done a lot of weddings.
You know, as a musician and also as a pastor, a wedding it happens in a 24-hour period.
It does.
That's it. It's 24 hours that you guys are preparing for a wedding, but a marriage is for a lifetime. And to the point that you made that was not subtle, I heard it. And the ceremony itself is probably 20 to 25 minutes.
Right. It's not long.
The ceremony, depends on how many bridesmaids you got walking down the aisle, and if they're walking to the music, or if you just said just walk and get to the front, just walk and get to the front.
Right.
But we spend so much time on that 24 hours, that one particular day, rather than making the investment that happens in a marriage over a lifetime. We have to intentionally prepare for marriage. If we're not intentional about preparing for marriage and that relationship, then we're going to struggle, and real life will be overwhelming. It will overwhelm the best of us.
Yep. And really, after the honeymoon period is over, you jump into the real stuff.
Yeah.
And that honeymoon period is different for each person.
Right.
Each couple, the honeymoon period could be a matter of days, could be weeks, could be months, could be years, whatever that is. But the reality is you have to jump into real stuff. You got to talk about our communication. What are the expectations? You got to jump into health and all kinds of finances and the family dynamics and conflict. You jump into all those things. And if you aren't prepared when that honeymoon period is over, you're on the struggle bus.
Yeah, for sure. I think about it like this. Like, I haven't run a marathon yet. I will one day. I actually do. I want to do at least a half marathon.
Okay.
And I haven't done it yet.
I will cheer for you on the sidelines.
You're not going to do it with me?
You probably going to make me do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, great.
All right. So I think about a marathon. It has a starting line, then it has the finish line.
Yep.
The wedding day is the starting line.
Yes.
The marriage is the race.
Yes, that's good.
It's the whole race.
I like that.
And we prepare all of our resources, our thoughts, our energy, our planning, all of it just to get to the starting line.
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you the image I got in my mind when you just said that.
Okay.
I thought about how, like, when someone's going to run a marathon.
Yeah.
Or even our son or our daughters who ran track. It's like you spend all this money getting the shoes, spending all this money on the right shoes, so we want them to run fast. And you get the headband, and you get the gear, you get the water bottle, and it matches. And of course, you do all of this. You haven't stretched.
Yeah.
You haven't been in any practices.
Right. You don't have a coach.
You don't have a coach. You don't even, all your coaches have been the coaches telling you how to pick out the right outfit, but you don't know how to run the race.
Yeah.
Right?
You got outfit coaches.
And
you got like food coaches. Yeah, but
you got the headband coach. Man. You got the shoe coach.
Headband coach.
You got the water bottle coach, right? But you don't have any you've done no preparation for the actual marathon. So you start running. And the first time you start running, especially if you start running track or cross country or a marathon, the first time is real struggle.
Yeah.
It's real struggle because you haven't done this before.
Right.
You got to get more reps in.
Yep.
And that's the point. So that's what I thought about. I thought about that image.
No, that's really good.
You got all the gear, but you haven't stretched not one time.
Right. You're not prepared for the actual race.
Not at all.
You're just prepared to stand at the starting line and hear the gunshot.
Look ready.
Yeah, and look ready. But you ain't ready. You just look ready.
Right. And we don't want that to happen.
Really
we don't want that to happen, guys. So there is scriptural foundation for what we're talking about, because scripture actually gives us wisdom on how to prepare.
Yeah, so let's look at Luke 14:28, and I have it here. Jesus says this: suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? And the principle that Jesus is giving here, it's not just about the idea of the tower.
Right.
It's not just about, I have a dream one day to build a tower.
Yes.
No, if you're going to build it, the very first thing you have to do, which is so wise, you got to estimate the cost.
Yeah.
What is it going to cost me in order to build this tower? How that translates to marriage is we prepare for the wedding day, but we're not counting the cost of the actual relationship.
Yes.
What will it cost me to stay in this relationship? And if you're not counting the cost, it's going to be hard for you to get through, to survive in that marriage. There is no couple, and I don't want to, be hyperbolic, but I'll say it anyway. There is no couple, like when you're dating, you get to know a person. It's like, oh, your favorite color is orange. So is mine. This is so cool. No one is getting divorced because they were like, I was hoodwinked. His favorite color is not orange. It is yellow. And I can't believe it. And I'm just not going to be with this person ever again. A liar. Right? That's not what happens.
No.
It happens because we're ill prepared to deal with the rockiness, with the waves, the storms that hit our marriage once we get involved in it.
Absolutely.
Hey, family, real quick. Do you ever wish that there was a space where couples and blended families could go to get real answers to real life issues?
Not just tips and quotes, but community, tools, and a space to grow together? That's why we've launched the Beautifully Blended School Community.
It's our online home where we will talk about a lot of the things that we talk about on our podcast, things like communication, co-parenting, step-family dynamics, forgiveness, and a whole lot more.
Each month, you'll receive exclusive content like video lessons, worksheets, live Q&A, and a private community to grow with others on the same road as you.
So maybe this is your first time at marriage or blending your family, or you may have been at this for a long time. Either way, we want you to know that you don't have to do this by yourself.
So join us so we can build something beautiful together.
Visit beautifullyblendedpodcast.com or click the link below in our show notes so you can sign up for our school community today.
We can't wait to connect with you.
Jesus is talking about counting the cost.
Right.
You know, I think about for our marriage, we got married in August. And then in January, I got hit with crazy symptoms in my body.
Yeah.
And it was a journey for the next few months to discover, like, oh, this is what this is.
Yeah.
Right. And it's an autoimmune situation. It's like, okay,
right.
Now I'm dealing with this. And who knew that was going to happen? We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't.
Right? And so there's this other side where you have to get to, and you have to be able to keep moving in your marriage. But if you don't prepare for how do we handle the hard things? Are we committed to handling the hard things? Picking out the food, if that's the hardest thing that you dealt with, baby, there is a lot more hard things that are coming your way. And so Jesus really wants us to count the cost before we do something important, and marriage deserves that level of intentionality. You are building something. And we've talked about this in previous episodes about how your marriage should be building something.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not just about romance and hanging out. Like, we should be building something.
Right.
And so your marriage is meant to build something, which means there's a lot of intentional preparation.
Right.
There's another scripture, Genesis 2:24, which says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Right. There's something important about this scripture that I believe stands out to me, that marriage is not just two people doing something individually for a really long time. It's really about spiritual unity. It's about you blending and you becoming unified in a way that you've never done before.
Right.
I don't care who your best friend is.
Right.
You've never been unified in this way before. The scripture is talking about becoming one. This is a whole new level of unity. It's a whole new level of unity that if we're not prepared to enter into a sacrificial, covenantal unity, we are going to struggle at the reality. Actually, it's going to be offensive.
Listen.
It's going to be offensive.
It is going to be offensive.
When we are smacked in the face with what marriage actually requires of us if we don't prepare for marriage.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actual realities of marriage is offensive if you are not informed. So we have five things that we want to talk to you about that you must do to prepare for marriage. There's more. I'm sure there's more, but we got five for today.
We got 35, but we don't got that much time.
No, we're going to give you five. Just five for today. And number one, we want to talk honestly about your expectations. That's number one.
Yeah, I think, most couples assume that they agree. They assume that they're on the same page.
Yes.
I used the analogy earlier, like, My favorite color is orange. Your favorite color is orange. Oh, wow. We're so meant to be together. Like your favorite vacation is the Virgin Islands. My favorite vacation is the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Wow. We are so meant to be together.
Oh, my.
And you continue to go down this pathway as you are courting, as you're getting to know someone. Mm-hmm. And only thing you look for are the similarities.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes.
That's a good observation.
Right.
Yes.
The only thing we look for are the similarities. What do you like? Mm-hmm. I like the same thing. Oh, we're meant to be together. What restaurant do you like to eat at? I like that restaurant too. Oh, we're meant to be together. We only look at the similarities. And because we only look at the similarities, when the differences show up at the most inopportune time, we don't know how to deal with those differences. Yeah. Because we only focused on the fact that she's a Pisces and I'm a Pisces. So the stars have aligned for us to be together. And that is a horrible, horrible way for you to determine if that person is the right person for you to marry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many expectations. Yep. So many expectations, from money to roles in the home. You know, we have so many experiences and so many different things that we bring to the table of our marriage. Right. And so when we don't talk honestly about what the expectation is, we can run into challenges. For some, you know, the husband or the father, he does most of the disciplining, and some other situations, the mother does it. Yeah. In others, it's a joint effort. So when you walk into it, and we're talking about potentially blended families that are going to get married, these are certain things that you need to have conversations about. Right. If you both or either of you already has children, you need to look at their parenting style. Yeah. Because your parenting style may be different. Right. And you need to know how to address it. So those are some of the expectations you need to talk honestly about.
I think you also need to talk about communication styles.
Absolutely.
You need to have like real conversations about, you know, how we're going to discuss things when we disagree. Right. You're going to have, like you said, you got to talk about money and roles in the home. Mm-hmm. If you're not having honest conversations about expectations, you will become frustrated at your spouse, period.
Yep. Yep.
You're going to become frustrated. Yep. They're going to annoy you because you have expectations that have not been rightly communicated. Yep. So we want to encourage you. Talk about the expectations up front. This is one of the things that you need to do prior to getting married.
Absolutely. Those unspoken expectations, to your point, will become future arguments. But healthy couples talk about these things before the marriage, before the wedding. Right. So our second thing is learn how to handle conflict. Listen, every couple is going to have a disagreement. You're not going to agree on everything all the time. Right. Doesn't mean you're going to have a blowout argument, knock down, drag out. It doesn't mean that. But you're not going to agree on everything.
No, you're not.
There's going to be different things that you see differently, and that's fine. The question isn't if conflict will arise, it's when it arises, how do we handle it?
Yeah, and some of the things that you need to look at is, do you listen well? Do I listen well? Do you get offended easily? Right. Like, do I get offended easily? You want to look at some of these things. Yeah. Do I shut down? Yeah. Be honest. Like, if you're about to marry someone and you shut down regularly, let them know you shut down. Or work through that. Mm-hmm. Shutting down in a marriage, and we did a whole episode on like shutting down in communication. But shutting down, being offended easily is not going to help you to have a healthy marriage. It's not going to help you to grow like spiritually strong and be a support to your husband or to your wife. You got to talk about these things, and you got to learn healthy conflict early in your marriage. Like learn it early in your marriage. I mean, learn it before. Right. If you can learn it before and identify areas where one person, you know, may shut down in a conversation or may blow up in a conversation. It could be either way, but you got to learn to identify how are we going to communicate and how are we going to deal with conflict in our relationship.
Yep. There are red flags that are out there. There are also yellow flags that are out there. Yeah. And the yellow flags are a little less, obvious, a little more subtle. Right. But you need to be looking at that. And if you have a situation that arises and that person defers to you on certain topics or certain conversations, there's a lack of honesty there.
Yeah.
And there's this idea that it's better to just kind of avoid the conflict. I don't want this to be a big argument. I don't want to talk about this for a long time. I'm just going to defer to them. I'm just going to shut down. Those are some real flags that you need to be mindful of before you get into the marriage, because it becomes worse. Yeah. That position becomes strengthened and you have more issues with conflict.
Yeah, I like how you said that, because there's a level of dishonesty when you avoid the conflict and you avoid the conversation. But I would also say when you avoid conflict early on, you're also communicating that your voice doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The thing that you have to say about the conflict isn't important. So I'm not really going to say anything. I'm going to just let him do what he's going to do, or I'm going to let her do what she's going to do. Simultaneously, you're communicating that my voice doesn't matter. I don't have a real contribution to this topic. I don't have a real contribution to our marriage. You're simultaneously communicating that in your avoidance by not telling your spouse, well, this is what I have to say, and this is important to me.
Yeah.
This is what matters to me. This is what I feel we need to do in this situation. By hiding or not really communicating those things, you're also communicating and devaluing your own voice. And it will be hard to recover that over time if for the first 3 years of your marriage, you deferred and never said anything. But in the 5th year of marriage, you find your voice, and all of a sudden you just telling your husband everything that you think anytime that you feel like telling him, or your wife the same thing. It's almost like they're married to a different person because they never heard that voice before.
Yep. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So did you want to say something else about that?
No. I'm good.
All right. Yep. So here's the third thing. And I think this probably should have been our first thing.
Okay.
But it probably should have.
Probably.
But align your spiritual direction.
Yep.
Align your spiritual direction. Marriage isn't about two people just joining lives. It's about joining spiritual journeys. Like, are your spiritual journeys aligning?
Yeah.
And it's going to cause you to ask some questions like, what role does faith play in our marriage?
Absolutely.
What role does God play? Like, you can be on a date and say, hey, well, do you believe in God? And they say yes, but you never hear them talk about God. You never see them pray. They just eat their noodles. They don't pray over them, right? They just make the ramen and eat it. They don't pray over it or nothing.
They don't thank him for it at all.
They're not thanking God for the food.
Oh, Father.
They're not having, they're not being discipled. They don't understand discipleship. They don't have quiet time. They don't know what quiet time is, like your time in prayer.
Right.
They're not reading, the scriptures or having devotional time. And if you don't talk about your spiritual alignment, like, what do we agree on spiritually? What direction are we going in spiritually?
Right.
How are we getting there spiritually?
Right.
If you're not having these conversations, don't be surprised when spiritual conversation, again, becomes offensive later on when you say, I think we should go to church. Well, why should we go to church?
Right.
You said you believed in God. I do, but I don't believe we need to go to church to believe in God.
Yeah.
It becomes a whole different animal that you now have to deal with if you don't align yourselves spiritually.
Man, that is such a big, big issue. It's such a big issue. We should have made it number one.
Right?
It's such a big issue because you have so many people who jump into these relationships and they get engaged and they just do not agree on their spiritual direction. They just don't. And I know that for generations, we've had families that, the one spouse is Catholic, the other one is Buddhist, or, like this person is Methodist, this person's Pentecostal. You have those kind of situations. You have someone who is a Christian and someone who's agnostic. You have, I know we've had that for a long time. Someone who is, Jewish on one side and Catholic on the other. I get that.
Right.
I get that. And somehow those families made it through.
Yeah.
But we really encourage you to have these conversations about your spiritual direction, because you end up in a different place. And like, I can't believe we don't agree on this. But did you talk about it?
Yeah.
Because I believe, at least in these situations that I just said, there was a conversation. You didn't just find out they were Buddhist. Baby, you knew they were Buddhist.
Knew.
Right.
You
didn't just find out they were Jewish. Like, you saw their name. You saw them celebrating the Sabbath. You know what I mean? Like,
every morning they said, Assalamu alaikum to you. And you said, praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Right?
Right. Like Muslim and Christian. Right. So you saw that. And so I'm saying, like, make sure you're on the same page and you understand each other's spiritual journey, because you can't say you didn't know if you didn't ask.
Yep.
If you weren't looking for it, if you weren't inquiring. And if you don't do that on the front end, you end up in more trouble later.
Let me say this. One of the most powerful things that we got from premarital counseling, and one of the things that we apply even to this day, we understand that we're going to have disagreements.
Yeah.
And what that means is Julia may think something is right. Mm-hmm. I may think something is right. And we both stand in our corners, because what I think is right, she doesn't. And what she thinks is right, I don't. Mm-hmm. So we disagree. The tiebreaker we have agreed is God and his word.
Yep.
So if we disagree on something, we go to God to be the tiebreaker. We go to his word to be the tiebreaker. We're not going to friends, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're not going to, social media in any capacity. We're not looking up Chat GPT saying, how do we solve this problem? Right. He agrees this, and I think this is true. No, God is the tiebreaker. And I think when you talk about spiritual alignment, that's one of the major things that needs to be talked about prior to us getting married, prior to you getting married, whoever you are. What do we agree will be the tiebreaker in our marriage? Yep. So that means when we are off in our corners having temper tantrums about whatever we're mad about, she can go to the Lord in prayer. I can go to the Lord in prayer. I can open up the Bible and look at the scriptures. She can open up the Bible and look at the scriptures. And God begins to soften our hearts, because I'm spending time in prayer and she's spending time in prayer. And God says, you know what? You're really both wrong. That's why when scripture says, let every man be a liar and let God be true, right? That epitomizes what I'm talking about, and is a demonstration of what it means for two flawed humans to have disagreements, but they're both standing on whatever point that they're trying to make, saying, I'm right. No, I'm right. Yeah. You can do that for ages. Mm-hmm. The tiebreaker and the argument for spiritual alignment is the fact that God is the tiebreaker.
Absolutely.
And when we both agree with him, that brings us back together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this is the truth we want you guys to know from that. When couples pursue Christ together, unity grows. Yeah. Right? It grows and it deepens. Yep. And so that's why that's so significant. Number 4.
What's number 4, honey?
Talk about money honestly.
Right.
We don't like to talk about money. We don't like to talk about money in our families. We don't like to talk about money with our friends. We don't like to talk about money in church. We don't like to talk about money.
No.
Money is one of those delicate, sensitive topics. People don't want to talk about it.
They talk about your money, but don't talk about my money.
Right. You listen, stay out my pocket. But here's the thing. Finances are one of the biggest areas that stresses marriages out. Like, it can cause so much stress. And we've heard the numbers for years, the statistics about how so many marriages and relationships fail over money issues. And but here's the thing, money doesn't have to be a scary conversation.
Right.
That just doesn't need to be like a scary conversation. It just needs to be honest. Right. Like, this is where I am. You don't want to get married to someone and find out, surprise, I'm $1 million in debt. Like,
but
first of all, how did you get to $1 million of debt? Who was crazy enough to give you $1 million worth of credit.
Right.
Right. But we don't want to get down that road and find that out. Like we need to have those conversations before we jump in.
Right. That's funny. You need to talk about spending habits.
Yes.
You need to talk about debt.
Yes.
You need to talk about generosity.
Mm-hmm.
You need to talk about credit.
Yep.
Like these are some of the conversations that
absolutely
you have to have when you're having money conversations prior to getting married. Like Julia said, you don't want to, be like, surprised, I'm $1 million in debt, but we're both Pisces.
And we're like orange.
Yeah,
right.
we like orange.
Right.
Like that's not enough to keep you together, but you have to have these conversations about money and finances.
Right.
And you also need to look for red flags, or like you said, yellow flags when you go out to eat and your fiance buys food, and every time before they go pay, they always open up the Bank of America app.
Right.
Just to make sure they got $37.82 in the account, enough to pay for that meal.
Right.
You want to watch for those things, and you want to have real conversations about things like that. Like financial clarity creates trust.
Right.
It creates trust. Like if Julia says she's going to go to Target and she's going to spend $50 worth of food, or Walmart spend $50 worth of food. If she says she's going to go to Target or Walmart,
I could spend $50 worth of food
and spend $50 purchasing food or whatever.
Right.
And I can't trust her to do that, and she comes back and says, well, I spent $172.12.
Right.
Talking about Target told her what to buy.
Listen, because when you walk in, Target tells you, this is what you need. Look at this. It's beautiful.
Yeah, right? So if I can't trust that she's going to stay within a budget, that's going to raise trust issues in other areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
So financial clarity, having the conversation about money, it really does create trust. And it's a great, healthy practice for you to start prior to your marriage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The fifth one, our last one, build a foundation of friendship.
Yeah.
Right? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I mean, building a foundation of friendship matters because marriage isn't sustained by romance alone.
Yep. Absolutely.
Romance is not enough. We talked about in the last episode, sex is not enough.
Yep.
Like that's not enough to sustain the full weight of a marriage.
No.
You need more than romance. You need friendship. You need the things that build a strong friendship. Julia and I are friends. We're best friends. We laugh. We talk about everything.
We talk about hard stuff.
Yeah, we talk about hard things and we get through it.
Yep.
But the friendship is deep.
It is.
And that's what we're encouraging you.
Right, right. I mean, there's some questions to ask. Do you actually like talking to your fiance? Do you like talking to him? Do you like talking to her?
Right.
Or do they drive you crazy?
Right.
Do you laugh together? Do you actually find things to laugh about?
Or do you hate how they laugh?
Oh.
You be like, this fool laughing like this for years. I can't stand how he laughs.
Right. Do you enjoy spending time together? Like there's literally couples that don't like spending time together.
Right.
And my question is, why are we getting married?
Right.
Because you do know, like, till death do we part.
Yeah.
Like, you're not parting until you die.
Right.
So you're going to spend a lot of time with that person.
Right.
So you're going to need to like spending time with them. Like, from here to there, there's a lot of time being spent.
That's right.
So do you like spending time together?
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. Because when life gets hard, and it will get hard.
Facts.
It will get hard. That friendship has to be the glue that holds it all together.
Right.
The friendship that you have, the deep, meaningful connection that you have will be the glue that holds it all together. It will not be romance. The flowers will have withered.
Yep.
The chocolates will have melted and
gone stale.
What'd you say?
I said gone stale.
Gone stale. So you're going to need something deeper, a deeper connection at a friendship level that is deeper than any other relationship.
Right.
You're going to need that to be the glue to keep you guys together.
So here's the thing. All right. So we've done all this. We've given you the 5 things, all of that. So here's what we want you to know.
Yeah.
Okay. You may have curated the best flowers. You found the most stunning colors for the dresses and the backdrop, and you found the best caterer, and the food is delicious, right? Chef's kiss. Like, you spent time picking the right song and the right bridesmaids, and you paired them with the right groomsmen so that no one's too tall because of the heat. Like, you spent a lot of time devoted to that.
Right.
Okay? But this is what we need you to know. At the beginning and end of the day, that a beautiful wedding does not make a successful marriage.
Right.
That beautiful wedding that you've spent so much time working on does not create this long-lasting, strong, successful marriage. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Just because you do all of that does not mean that it guarantees success once you're married.
But intentional preparation.
Yeah.
If you are intentional about preparing the 5 things that we listed, talk about that with your fiance if you guys are engaged. If you are engaged and you are considering getting married, think about these things. Be intentional about your preparation. Your preparation will go a long way in preparing you and making you ready for your marriage. So if you're engaged and you're preparing, don't just focus on the celebration.
Nope.
Celebration is not enough.
Nope.
I mean, like Julia said, the food might be great. You did the perfect pairings.
Perfect pairings.
You did the perfect pairings. You have the perfect colors. You have the best wedding planner money can buy. All right, congratulations. But that wedding planner better be your marriage counselor as well. If you're spending all of that money on her or him just for that 24 hours. Listen, we laughed and we talked about some serious things, but honestly, prepare for your marriage, not just your wedding. Focus on the foundation. Right. It's the foundation that matters.
Right. Invest in the conversations that matter most.
Yeah, that's good.
The food for the wedding does not matter most. You can even talk about where you want to live. And while that is great, you're still not talking about the hard stuff.
Right.
That's really, really important. Invest in those conversations that matter most. Seek wise counsel.
Yeah.
Get help. And So listen, I have heard people say things like, well, I went to the church and they gave me the wrong information. Okay. That wasn't your wise counsel then. God can give you wise counsel. Don't just go to somebody so you can check it off. Because sometimes, if we're really honest, we go to someone that we know isn't going to give us wise counsel so we can check it off. And then you turn around and point the finger. So please get wise counsel. Don't just pick somebody.
Right.
Make sure you are very prayerful and very considerate about who you choose.
Yeah.
And then you want to build healthy habits together.
Right.
Build those healthy habits together and build them early. You don't want to jump into marriage and then say, okay, so how are we going to budget? No, what? Wait.
Right, yeah.
This is a little too late for us to start, and not too late, but it's late to be talking about this, right? We need to start talking about these things early because your goal, again, is not the perfect wedding. It is a successful marriage.
Yeah, you want a healthy foundation. So if you are engaged and you are watching this episode, or if you know someone that is engaged, send them this episode.
Yes.
If you know someone who is single and has a desire to be married, send them this episode. Share it because I believe what we talked about today is crucial.
Yeah.
It is critical to the person who is single and engaged, and there is a strong desire to be married. If you make the wrong investment, and the majority of your time, your resources goes into that 24-hour day so that you have the perfect silverware, but you haven't invested in premarital counseling, you haven't invested in devotional time prior to marriage, then you are setting yourself up for a very difficult future with your future spouse. Focus on the marriage, not just the wedding. That's really the point that we're making today. That's the only point that we're making. So Again, share this with someone who is engaged or single because I believe it will help them.
Yes, yes. We're so excited to be here in this space. Be open to getting wise counsel, like you say. Like, listen, go talk to someone who's going to tell you something hard.
Right.
Don't talk to people who tell you the easy stuff. Talk to someone who's going to tell you something hard. We're grateful to be in this space. If you've enjoyed this, again, please share it with other people. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the things.
Right.
We're just so grateful to be in this space. And please comment. Like, we love to hear from people. We've gotten some engagement on social media, which is always great. We love to hear your take and how you've handled this yourself.
Yep. God bless you guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Beautifully Blended Podcast.